The bill arrived on a Tuesday morning, folded once and slid under the door like any other piece of mail. At first, it didn't look dangerous. White paper, black ink, a hospital logo that promised care, safety, professionalism. The father picked it up while tying his shoes for work, thinking it was insurance paperwork or a receipt that would be filed away and forgotten. He opened it standing up, scanned the numbers, and felt his legs weaken. He sat down on the edge of the couch, the paper shaking in his hands. The number was larger than the house was worth. Larger than every savings account they had ever built. Larger than every plan they had made for the future. His wife noticed the color drain from his face and took the paper without a word. She read it once, then again, slower the second time, as if the number might change if she gave it enough attention. It didn't. The illness had come suddenly. One night of chest pain, a rushed drive through red lights, a blur of machines and doctors speaking in calm voices that carried terrible meanings. The surgery saved his life. Everyone said they were lucky. Friends brought food. Neighbors sent messages. Family members said God had been kind. No one talked about the cost, because in those early days, survival felt like it should be enough. The bill turned survival into a debt that would follow them everywhere. They tried to live normally at first. The kids still went to school. The father still left for work before sunrise. The mother still smiled when she packed lunches. But the house changed. Conversations dropped into whispers. Laughter felt out of place. Every sound seemed louder because silence had become the default. At night, when the kids were asleep, the parents sat at the kitchen table with the bill between them, like a third person who refused to leave. They called the hospital. They called the insurance company. They listened to hold music and scripted apologies. Each call ended the same way, with a smaller balance than before, but still impossibly large. The savings disappeared first. The account they had built slowly, carefully, dollar by dollar, drained in weeks. Then came the credit cards. Then the retirement fund, the one they had promised themselves they would never touch. The father picked up extra shifts. The mother started working weekends. The kids noticed. They stopped asking for new shoes. They stopped talking about college like it was a guarantee. One of them quit soccer because the fees felt selfish now. The house felt smaller, as if the walls were closing in under the weight of a number printed on paper. The stress changed them in quiet ways. The father became short-tempered, not because he was angry at his family, but because he was angry at himself for not being able to protect them from this. The mother started waking up at night, staring at the ceiling, calculating figures in her head until morning came. Arguments broke out over small things, dishes left in the sink, lights left on, groceries that cost too much. Each argument was really about the same thing, but no one said it out loud. The bill didn't just take money. It took patience, sleep, and the sense that life was predictable. Letters started arriving regularly, each one more urgent than the last. Polite reminders turned into firm warnings. Firm warnings turned into threats dressed up as legal language. The father sold his car and bought an older one that rattled when it started. The mother sold her wedding jewelry, pieces that carried memories heavier than gold. They told themselves these were just things. They told themselves family mattered more. Both statements were true, but they didn't stop the ache. One afternoon, the oldest child came home with a college acceptance letter. It should have been a celebration. Instead, it sat unopened on the counter for hours because everyone was afraid of what it represented. When it was finally opened, the joy lasted seconds before reality returned. Tuition numbers joined the hospital numbers in the mother's mind, stacking on top of each other until she felt dizzy. That night, the child quietly said they would defer enrollment and work for a year. No one argued. No one said thank you. The sacrifice hung in the air, heavy and unspoken. Time passed, but the bill stayed. It shaped every decision. Vacations became memories from the past. Birthdays were smaller. Holidays were simpler. Yet something else began to change too. The family learned how to survive together in a way they never had before. They learned the value of shared silence. They learned how to find comfort in routine. They learned that love could look like giving things up without being asked. Years later, the balance finally reached zero. There was no celebration, no announcement, just a quiet moment when the last payment cleared and the letters stopped coming. The father stared at the confirmation screen longer than necessary. The mother cried, not from happiness, but from the release of tension she had carried for so long that she didn't know who she was without it. The kids, now older, understood what that number had taken from them and what it had given them in return. The family was not the same as before. They were more cautious, more tired, but also more connected. The medical bill had changed the course of their lives, stripped away illusions, and forced them to grow up faster than they planned. It had taken years they could never get back. It had also shown them what they were capable of enduring together. The paper that slid under the door one Tuesday morning had been more than a bill. It had been a turning point, one that rewrote their story forever.